Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I think I'll start there. Good morning. It's Monday. Hey, 305 from Miami. I know it feels nice down there. Hey, Casa, Tawana. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Lois. Hey, user 22981. How are you? Hey, Russ. Good morning, handsome. Hey, Angelica. Good morning. Good morning, Grandma Kia. Good morning. What is it? Dark NYT. Hey, Miss Sweet Pea. Good morning, beautiful. Hello there. Hello there, Trudy. I saw this image this morning. I'm not going to leave it up much. We already know whoever Trump looks for to replace the Bureau of Labor Statistics lead is going to be a yes man again. And you can tell all the lies you want, but when lies don't align with folks' reality, your lies won't work anymore. And that's what Trump is running into. You see how now he's trying to say grocery prices didn't go up. Bruh, that's not going to help you. Because when we go to the grocery store, we're on the front fucking lines. You understand? We're on the front fucking lines of it. So we see what grocery prices look like. So you can't lie to us. You can't gaslight us because our wallets won't allow us to be gaslit, right? That's why I crack up at MAGA. Before the election, MAGA was all, things are so expensive. Now they're economists. All of a sudden, grocery prices have gone down with no data to back it up. It's just because their daddy said so. Groceries are outright ridiculous, Kimmy. Groceries are disrespectful. I just put up a video this morning like, yo, what are you not buying anymore from the grocery store? Because it literally has priced you out where you're saying, I am not willing to pay that much money to eat that or consume that anymore. What is something at the grocery store that you're going, nah, I used to like that. I used to buy it, but I'm just not going to pay that. Because for me, it's Spam. I won't buy that because Spam costs too fucking much. Yes, sodas are crazy ridiculous right now. Sodas are crazily ridiculous. Crazy ridiculous. They are, oh yeah, beef is disrespectful. Oh, beef is disrespectful. I don't even buy beef. Not anymore. Yeah, chips are crazy disrespectful. Chips, snacks. I said yesterday, snacks, folks are going to lose weight by proxy. You won't need Wegovy. The prices of groceries are going to force people to eat more healthy because junk food costs too much now. Before it was junk food was cheap. Now junk food costs too much. You come off better buying regular food. It doesn't even make sense. Yes, canned salmon is ridiculously expensive. And that used to be a cheap thing you could eat. Yeah, yogurt's expensive. I don't mess with yogurt. Yogurt costs too much. Yogurt costs way too much right now. And so for the government to continue to try to gaslight us and say, no, groceries are going down. I'm like, in whose house? Not in my house. Shit, in my house, people eat. Yeah, peanut. Look, we're essentially saying the entire grocery store is too much. Thank you so much, DH Webb, listening to my podcast. I'm first of all, I'm very grateful and thankful that you listened, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. I appreciate that because I put work into that. So thank you so much for listening. I appreciate your support. Pork chops are cheaper than chicken. They are, but pork chops ain't cheap enough. Pork chops are still way more than they should be, so I don't buy them. $1.19 for one orange. Jesus. Russ, that's why I don't buy turkey necks no more. I used to buy turkey necks because turkey necks was a cheap meat to eat. But most people didn't want to eat turkey necks because they had to dig for the meat. Shit. Now they charge so much even for turkey necks now. It's not worth it to even buy them anymore. Hey, Tamar. Yeah, $3 candy bars. The thing is, Michael, most people who have EBT, they wasn't wasting their EBT money on buying candy bars. Honestly. Now, they may have bought sodas, chips, shit like that. They can't buy that shit no more either. Now I can't wait to see how Kansas responds to that. Y'all already know it. That register is going to be vicious. What do you mean I can't buy soda anymore? This is the radical left agenda. Well, and this was really, well, actually, it was Republicans who decided you couldn't buy. Well, I'll be there working in conjunction with them damn liberals. Something must have happened. But what they will not do is blame the people who actually did it, right? They will not do that. Republicans are going to do everything they can to stop. Yeah, beef neck bones are expensive. The beef chunks that you would get for like making stewed beef and stuff like that, those things used to be cheap because they were extra cuts, you know what I'm saying, that were left over. Now that shit's like $10. You used to be able to buy, before Trump got in office, I bought a pack of stewed beef. It was $5 and some change. That same pack of stewed beef now is over $10. That's crazy. Say it again, Trudy. I really don't give a fuck how anybody spends their EBT. And I'll tell you why I don't care. Ultimately, I don't care. Because do you know how poor you have to be to get food assistance? See, for the grace of God, I've never been poor enough that I could qualify for food assistance. Even though I was struggling, I was never that damn poor. You understand? Hey, storyteller, good morning, beautiful. But for people to be pocket watching folks that are getting food assistance is crazy to me. But you know what, y'all? I need y'all to understand. The people watching folks with food assistance more than anybody else are other people on food assistance. Catch it. Yeah, Jeff, Trump does tell them prices went down and they believe it. But the problem is this. You ain't gonna believe that shit when you go to the grocery store and you can't find no cheaper prices. Oh, I understand, Kimmy, that EBT doesn't mean a person's on welfare. I know that. But my point is, in order to get any type of food assistance, you technically have to be working poor. You understand? You're not getting food assistance just to help you out a little bit. You're getting food assistance because on paper, somewhere the government sees you don't have enough money to eat properly. And they're helping you. So that's why I never understand folks so upset. Because most people on food stamps, quiet as kept, that ain't even enough money to last to the end of the month. So folks hating on them getting food assistance, I'm like, well, shit. It's not like that food. It's not like they having extra money. You understand? That money is still not enough to make it to the end of the month all the way before they get their next food assistance. Yeah, that's crazy. You're right. You're right, Jeff. They're proud that poor people can't buy ice cream. But I go, what does that say about the individual that's so concerned about what somebody else does with their money? Let me stop for a second and say good morning to everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. And listen, if you like these unfiltered conversations that I have here in TikTok, come on over to the Patreon. Click the link. You're right, Josh. God bless America and God bless Trump. He allowed me to do deportations and not give a fuck. Oh, that shit felt glorious. Now I know why Trump likes deportations. The feeling that you get after deportation. Let me sip these conservative tears. I got a video I know I'm going to record after this live where I talk about how MAGA is like the Joker. I'm explaining that, and I'm going to tell y'all what I mean when I say that. People who are in MAGA are like the Joker. Think about the Joker. The Joker wouldn't even exist if you didn't have a nemesis, right? Isn't that what Joker said? You complete me, right? He needs Batman to function. Otherwise, it's just some random ass dude running around Gotham in makeup, right? He needed an arch nemesis, and Batman is that for Joker. The same thing with MAGA. MAGA needs liberals. Without you listening to their bullshit, they're not validated. Stop listening to their bullshit. You get me? I said all that to say, stop validating them. Stop validating them. Because you doing that gives them a purpose and a reason to be. They don't believe in shit. You see? You see, they don't believe in nothing. Oh, DiMaggio, I wanted to show DiMaggio, the retired Army officer, that he supports the fact that people who preyed on children are are allowed to do that, unfettered by government. Now I'll block them. Oh, that was beautiful. You know, he's sitting over there now. God damn it, that fucking liberal woman. She said that shit and kicked me out. Let me log into my other account. He thought he was going to be... No, you can't say that here. And they have the audacity to love Trump and be a socialist at the same time. Make it make sense. In the profile says, I'm a retired Army person. So you're a retired socialist. You used my money. My money got you trained. My money gave you a job. My money paid your bills. My money did that shit. You're a socialist. That's why I love to say that shit to them. Because they hate it. But as I was saying, right? They are like the Joker. I'm telling, this is why I tell y'all don't engage them on no shit. When they acting a fool, walk away. I know it's hard. Walk away. Say nothing. You got more power by not engaging the shit. But when you engage them in it, you're validating them. Because these people run around needing to be heard. Talking to somebody else just like them don't help them to be heard. They need to be heard by you. Stop doing that shit. Let them talk into a void. Hey, good morning, Jess, and good morning, Sinopa. Let them talk into a more... Exactly, DH Webb. They get so angry when you won't participate. Y'all see it in my live. Oh, you don't like debate. Okay, whatever you want to believe, I don't give a shit. Doesn't matter to me. I don't spend any time trying to prove anything to these people. That gets under their fucking skin. Good morning, and thank you from Boston. It gets under their skin. You've got to have that same discipline. Hey, Miss Thompson, you got to have the same discipline. Your lack of discipline is what gives these people power. It's like I told everybody in that video yesterday, and I still stand by it. Trump is technically not destroying America. It's technically the 99.9% because you laid down for the shit. Yeah. This ain't really just about rich people trying to do what they do. It's also about regular working class people just throwing their hands up and go, well, I don't have no money, so I guess I just have to take whatever happens to me. You really don't. You have a lot more power than you think you do. Rich people can't be rich without your money. You make them rich. Even if they're born into riches, they can't stay rich without you. That's a fact. But Jeff, that's the problem. Don't fight them all day. When they say something to you, say, oh, cool. If you like it, I love it. I remember my mom used to say that to people. When they would be saying crazy shit, just talking about anything, and not even just politics, just talking about anything. That's something you'll hear black people say a lot. If you like it, baby, I love it. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do to try to convince you not to like something that's bad for you? Fuck it. Like whatever you want. Y'all got to learn to do that shit. Y'all be trying to save people from themselves. I don't operate from that. I wasn't taught to save someone that doesn't want to save themselves. I wasn't taught that. I guess y'all was taught that. I was not taught that. I was taught, well, shit, if you don't want to save yourself, why should I save you? What do they say? Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. Y'all ain't never heard that song from J. Cole? Come on now. You said your brother's MAGA. He sent a real claim and Trump is doing away with all taxes with tariffs. Okay. It's nothing you can say in that regard. You get it? It's nothing you can say. So I look at that stuff and I go, hey, that's what they want to do. Let them do it. But this is the other side of that. You have to be disciplined enough, right? Because those people always come back around. They always come back around. So when they come back around, say, for example, when school starts up and that conservative woman who loves the fact that Trump destroyed the Department of Education, and then she realized that means her special needs kids won't get any of the services that they used to get because the local school system don't pay for that shit because they ain't got the money for it, right? When she come to complain with you about it, you say, oh, wow. Well, good thing you got what you voted for. But that's not you arguing about it. That's not you arguing about it. You see what I'm saying? Well, your country got destroyed a long time ago for your lack of education. Y'all keep supporting rich people destroying your education system, not understanding education levels the playing field in between like the richest and the poorest. How do you think some of those poor people became rich? Education. Y'all gonna learn. Y'all gonna learn. It all goes back to fucking education. To your point, that's why you have anti-science and anti-vaxxers, because you have lack of education. The same people who don't believe in science when it comes to vaccinations will look you in your face and tell you they're against abortion because life starts at conception, but they support IVF. These people don't understand science and information. They don't get it. They just loud. They're just loud. Y'all gotta learn not to, you don't have to be loud to have an impact. You don't. You say they pay kids to go to high school in Sweden. Hey, I ain't mad at that. We should have a universal basic income, in my humble opinion, in America, but that's just me. Imagine if you got an extra $600, $800, $1,000 a month from your government, and you could use that just to buy groceries. You could use that shit just to buy fucking groceries. But you can't use it to buy groceries. Why? Because you got rich people blocking you. You got rich people in Congress. Thank you, Ahmad, for catching that. I didn't even see that. Thank you. You got rich people in Congress who are focused on keeping other rich people rich. And by proxy, in order to be more and more rich, they have to make you more and more poor. They have to. They have to. They have no choice. That's how money works. You have to take from one side to give to the other side. Your government is doing reverse Robin Hood. You said it's not right versus left. It's middle. True, it is middle versus working class. It is. I mean, middle working class versus the rich. That is true, user 416. But the problem with your narrative about saying it's not left versus right is there is one specific political party that's working with the oligarchy to keep you broke. The other one, you can actually push out the old school monarch. You can't do that in the other one. You can't do it in the other one. Because the other one won't. Think about it. Vladimir Putin, Donald Trump, and Baby Netanyahu are all technically in the same age group. All those people in the same age group. So you got, and then you got the voters who are older. These are old people not wanting change, and they're rolling back shit. They want life to be what it was back in the day when they were kids. Because they didn't progress. They didn't grow. They have no growth. So how do they feel comfortable? Going back to what they know. That's what they do. I saw that Tel Aviv showed up against Netanyahu. But the problem is on the world stage, America is supporting what's happening. Now, I'll tell you this. I can't go too deep dive into that discussion because TikTok don't like that. So again, you want to hear more unfiltered conversations? Come on over to the Patreon. The link is in my bio. That's where you can listen to the podcast and all the other conversations that I have that I cannot have here because TikTok don't like that. They want to be in good graces with Trump too. Catch it. Hey, Chuck, you tried to slide in, beloved. You're not that smart. See, that's that American education system at work. Chuck got blocked. Hey. See, that's what happens when you don't read books regularly. Hey, Dwayne, good morning. When you don't do things like that, you can't be witty. It's impossible. Hey, Kenneth, good morning. Thank you so much for listening. Oh, I'm very quick with the blocks, DH Web. I don't play that. There are plenty of places they could troll on the internet. You ain't gonna troll here. Because the thing that I keep trying to tell y'all is rich people pay for bots. They pay people to convince you to be against your own best interests. They pay people to convince you to give more money to rich people because the poorer you are, the better your life is, the more freedom you have. What? That ain't how that works. Anybody with common sense knows that you want more freedom. You want more freedom. You need education and you need money. Boom. What do rich... Okay, I tell you like this. Anytime somebody tries to get you in their pyramid thing, think about it. They're marketing. Like if they're doing a MLM, What do they always say? We trying to give you more time. That's freedom. In order to have time, you need money. Pay the fuck attention. Pay attention. Even when they trying to scam you on that shit, they tell you that. You know why? Because rich people own those companies. And they know that working class people want nothing more than to be like rich people, to have time and money to do whatever they want to do when they want to do it. That's why they try to sell you on those dreams. Stop listening to that mess that people talk. I don't listen to it anymore. I have learned not to feed them. Let them starve, y'all. As I said before, MAGA is like the Joker. Without a nemesis, they don't have any power. They don't really know what to do without trolling. Think about it. None of Trump's policies are helping them. They'll come in and they'll lie from time to time. Oh, I'm making all this money. Well, I know you're not, because you're saying that. People who make a lot of money don't run around telling people. Know why? Because they don't want nobody to ask for none. Duh. Who the fuck does that? Who goes around saying, I got all this money? Nobody. 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 Oh, yeah, I remember Amway. Old school people know that Amway. Hell, Avon ain't no different. Shit. I'm keep it all the way a buck. Avon ain't no different. Mary Kay ain't no different. Shit, all of it's the same. They got products. They just moving it, using you as the source. It's getting better, dude. Thank you so much. Better and better every day. Amway is just a multi-level marketing company. Yeah, they're a multi-level marketing company. That's all. And trust me, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. And I'm not saying that people can't make money. Yeah, you can make money with them, but most of the people that make the money are at the top. With MLMs, it's shit rolls uphill. That's the best way I can say it. That's where the money at, uphill. Not in the downline. That's that bullshit they tell you. Oh, join my downline. Bitch, get out of here. No, I don't want to join your downline. How about we switch spots? You let me get your position and you take mine. And then you build back up to where you are right now, showing me that it can be done. And understand, I don't want to hear it can be done after I'm number 10,999 in your downline. Well, of course you're telling people it can be done. You still trying to grow your downline. You said, according to Moody, which loves Trump, we're in a recession. Oh, we're in deeper than that. Y'all, we're in deeper than that. When you go to the grocery store and coffee's $20, that's more than a recession. Let me tell you, I've been in a recession before. And coffee wasn't $20 when we were in the other recession. And some of you who were in that recession too, you remember 2008. Coffee wasn't $20. Going to the grocery store didn't tear up your fucking wallet the way it does now. Not then. This is different this time. This time is different. This time ain't like none of them other times. And that is a fact. This time is not like the other times. Everything is more expensive now. See, in the past recessions, it was targeted to housing, or it may have been targeted to jobs. This time is everything. That's a depression. That's a depression. That's different. That is different. Honestly, dude, I don't even think it's real. They're doing a lot of Trump. See, I always say that the stock market is not an indication of the economy. That's people with fuck you money. The stock market is full of people with fuck you money that want to grow that fuck you money, right? That's not people at the grocery store going, well, what can I not buy on this grocery trip because I don't have enough money? That's not what it is. The stock market is not that. The stock market is a place where people can fuck over money. If I lose it, I lose it. Hey, Shauna, good morning, beautiful. If I don't, I don't. You know what I mean? It's that kind of situation. Trying to talk. I see her, but Marjorie, listen, understand, see, Mandy, a broken clock is right at least twice a day. She's still full of shit. Yeah, Hawaiian coffee is tariff-free, folks. Don't forget that. Because Hawaii is a U.S. territory, so don't forget that. It's one of our states. So don't forget that. Buy Hawaiian coffee. See, my coffee hasn't gone up because I had coffee. Look, I don't even drink coffee every day, not like I used to, because I'm trying to get better, because coffee makes me want to have sugar. So I'm trying to get better with that, because I tried honey and coffee. Never do that. That doesn't work. I tried. It didn't work. It was not the life hack I thought it was gonna be. Hey, Beetle Boy. Yeah, I was like, okay, I think I can put honey in here. Because, I love to experiment, And I think I could still get, no, you can't. You can't get the sweetness with it. So I stopped. Yeah, Miss Sweet Pea. That was not a smart thing to do. But yeah, everything's expensive now. When I was in the grocery store yesterday, okay, I went to the dollar store yesterday because I needed to get something. The dollar store has now changed. I took video. I just got to put it up. They were selling $6 items, $3 items, $4 items, $2 items, but everything in that store was not $1.25. And not just that, they had gone through the store and quite a few things that are still $1.25, they had covered the pricing with a sticker, because I'm assuming those items are going to go up. Not everything, but certain items in the dollar store are going to go up. And when the dollar store is going up, you've lost the plot. You've lost the plot. When the dollar store goes up, you have lost the plot. You just have. You've lost the plot. And oh, you just got your first tariff feel 30%. Damn. Oh my goodness. That's a lot. And when I went to Dollar Tree yesterday, my total was about almost $50. 50. And that's usually never the case with the dollar store. I got a ball out of control in the past at the dollar store to spend $50. You understand? Not yesterday. And I didn't buy no junk out of there. None. I bought 2 little things of honey, but everything else I bought was, I'm trying to think, was houseware stuff. Storage baskets, a little bit of cleaning solution. It wasn't anything what y'all thought. It was on a car part that came from Canada, April. Damn. Yep, folks didn't take into account car repairs. Yep. Get ready to pay more to repair your car. Get ready. Get ready, folks. Get ready, because think about it. Most auto parts are not made in America. Most auto parts are not made in America. So you need to get ready for that. I'm just making a note. But you need to get ready for the fact that you're going to have to pay more to do car repairs. You're going to have to pay more. Hey, Miss Jackie. And want to stop a second again and say good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. And again, and thank you for joining me. I appreciate it if you could do 2 things for me. Click that link button. I said link button. Click that like button. Thank you so much. It really, really is helpful to me because it helps to boost my lives. And also, if you could tap that share button, and with share, all you got to do is click copy link. You don't even have to send it to anybody. But to TikTok, that counts as a share. And that helps me out so much. Thank you so much. We're going to be seeing folks. You ain't going to see nobody ride no horse. They can't afford a horse. They ain't going to be able to afford no horse. They can't afford the vet care. They can't afford the feed bill. They ain't going to even have a horse, beloved. They're going to be walking. Right. If you can't feed yourself, you damn sure can't feed no horse. What? That's not happening. That's not happening. Yep. Folks going to have to get on bicycles. And you're going to have to buy them used. Because a brand new bike is going to cost your ass too much. I said, this is why I'm telling y'all, you got to start doing co-ops in your communities. This is why I say that. Because it's going to require people to lean on each other. It's going to require that, because if you don't lean on one another, you're going to falter. if you don't lean on each other. It's going to be too expensive to try to do it all alone. Folks need to start living together again and pooling their resources together. Mortgage and rents ain't that expensive when all of us are putting money in together. That's when you need to take a page out of the immigrant playbook. They come to America and they work together and save and work together. That's why a lot of Americans be hating. How come immigrants have so much? Because they actually work together. You know, they work together. They're not so busy trying to, before they get caught up in the machine of capitalism that is America, and they're not being selfish trying to compete with their family members. When they first come, they're actually working together. Oh, you and your son have a roommate, you split a house 3 ways. That is so smart, Lori. That is so smart. That is so smart. I got a whole basement. I'm open to renting out to family. Come on, let's work together. Yep, $500 each on rent. That's a lot cheaper than you all on your lonesome figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? I live in Maryland. Yeah, I'm a Maryland native. I'm actually native of DC, but I live in Maryland. Yeah. Good morning, Linda. But folks got to start working together. Got to start working. Put your money together and buy, land. Okay, so Tawana, I want to address that. So DOJ loses the bid for the unsealed Maxwell grand jury documents. Listen, I knew they were going to lose that. They were already going to lose it, but it doesn't matter. There's nothing in those grand jury documents that the Department of Justice doesn't already have. They need to release the Epstein files. That's it. Pam Bondi just needs to release the files. They were trying to buy time with that grand jury shit. That's all. It was a distraction. Well, I'm not really worried about the guard coming into DC because I don't live in the city, but I'm looking at the mayor going, that's what the fuck she gets for laying in bed with Trump, dummy. That's what the fuck she gets. I don't like Muriel Bowser. I don't like that bitch at all because she's not really for the people of DC. She's about big money. She's a big money bitch. She's another one. All she cares about is fucking money. She don't care about nothing else. I can't stand that woman, okay? I can't stand her because she don't care about the citizens of the city. All she care about is how much money she can get into that city while pushing people out of the city. Working class people. You understand? So fuck her. Fuck her. Muriel Bowser. Sure, go ahead, April. That's fine. Trump only cares about himself, and if he wasn't in the files, that's why I say Trump. That's how come Trump is in the files, because they won't release him. If Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, all these people that MAGA claims is in the files, Trump would release them. Y'all know that. He can't stand these people. That's why I ask the people when they come in here, I always say, hey, how come Trump is protecting Bill Clinton? That's why I ask that question. Because it doesn't make sense, right? Of course it doesn't. But when you ask it like that, they don't know what to do. They look in the handbook, they don't have an answer because the handbook don't tell them what to say when I say that. That's why I say it. That's why I say it. Right. There's a lot of information on the internet and I put a link. Listen, click the link in my bio and go to my Patreon. I put a link in there that links to a post on Reddit that has all these Epstein documents, depositions, interviews, images, files, everything. Everything. They've already removed Trump's name from the files, but I go back to, if Trump didn't do anything, why does he care? I told y'all. Trump is in the files. And I also posted something in my Patreon from a woman who says she had an interaction with him decades ago that should have never happened. And it's detailed. And it was published by the New York Times some years ago. I found that link again. and I put it up in my Patreon. Go read it for yourself. You don't have to believe what I say. Go read it. But I don't understand how people who say they love life, the party of life, is standing behind people who don't protect children. That's crazy, but not surprising. Because again, what did I tell y'all? Trump exposes that the Republican Party don't believe in shit. They're all liars. They don't believe in fiscal responsibility. The deficit is going up under Trump. Republicans spend a shitload of money all the time. They just don't want the money spent on you. They want the money spent on their rich crony friends. They want to use government to subsidize their losses and keep all their wins at your expense, taking money out of your children's pocket. And April, I didn't see your question. If you asked it, I didn't see it. So let me know. Oh, I see it now. It was the latter, not the first one that you said, the second one. She's recounting it as an adult, but it happened to her when she was not. Because see, y'all got to remember, Trump was sued too and had to do a deposition too. His testimony is in that link I gave you too. Hey, Deed1, good morning. Just so y'all know. That's why I put that picture up of Greg Abbott. I think I put it up this morning just to say, notice how Greg Abbott is so bent on trying to arrest Democrats to return to Texas so he can gerrymander Texas. But ain't none of these Republicans talking about locking nobody up in them Epstein files. But they told you they love kids. No, they don't. They love fetuses. They do not love children. They hate children. Because every time a school pew-pew happens, what do Republicans do? Make excuses about why they can't do nothing to protect your child at school. Your country has gone to hell in a handbasket. Because when you were growing up, did you ever have to be scared at school? Think about it. Did you ever have to worry about somebody walking into school and pew-pewing to school when you were growing up? Did you? Because I know I never did. And my ass, I grew up in the hood. And I ain't never have to do that. Never. 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 At the most you was going to have at school, somebody going to fight. But nobody ever brought weapons inside the fucking school. The school was a fucking safe zone, even in the hood. The library was a safe zone. When I was growing up, nobody ever got pew-pewed in the movie theater. Say it again, DMV was about them hands, okay? I'm like, yo, movie theaters, I could go to the movie theater, I could go to church, hospitals, schools growing up, all these things. Your country is less safe. And religion is why. Religion indoctrinates your people, America. Religion, listen, there has to be some balance. And your forefathers said, no religion in your government. And look at your government infusing religion into every facet of it. Every facet of it. And you wonder why your country is having so many problems. Y'all gonna learn. Say it again, Gummy. And the funny part about it is, if you didn't know how to fight, you learned how to shut the fuck up. You understand? My grandmother always told me, don't write checks with your mouth that your ass cannot cash. That's what I was taught. I was taught you don't say nothing you can't do. You don't make threats you won't make good on. You know why? Because it's always one person that's willing to call your fucking bluff. So be mindful about how you move. That's what I was raised with. That's what I was raised with. So that's why when I see MAGA right now, they wrote all these checks with their mouth. Imagine being somebody. Imagine being on Medicare and voting for Trump. Just imagine. And then when your shit get cut off, you're like, well, I don't why would Joe Biden do that? Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Say it again, Angelica. You didn't fight at school. Because if you fought at school, your ass was going to get suspended. You'd get in trouble. And guess what? Even thugs was on honor roll back then. I went to school with thugs that were artists. They might be thugging, but they were actual artists. They could draw. They could paint. They could sculpt. You understand? You understand? Now, they just thugs. Uneducated thugs at that. I remember having in-school suspension, meaning you had to come to school every day on time, but you didn't get to go to none of your classes. You had to go sit in the in-school suspension classroom. They would get your work from your teachers, and you would do all your schoolwork in that ISS class. Shit, y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all don't know nothing about that. I remember that shit. You can cut up if you want to and think that you're going to get the freedom to be at home on suspension all week. No, ma'am. They're going to make your ass do ISS, and you're going to do, not Waylon says, that's my class. Listen. Thank you so much, Sandy. Thank you for watching, beautiful. I appreciate it. Now, if you're beefing online, they suspend both of you. I don't see nothing wrong with suspending them both, but suspend them and put their ass in ISS. So they gotta come to fucking school every day on time. And you couldn't be late for ISS. You had to be on time like you were for any other class, like for school. You had to be on time. That was the thing. You couldn't even be late for it. But they made it so you weren't gonna have free time to bullshit. I bet you ain't cut up no more. You ain't cut up no more. See, because back then they understood giving the children more free time to do what the fuck they wanted to do was not punishment. You sending a kid home on suspension, especially, because my thing is this, most kids don't fight in school. Well, I'll say this. The kids who fight in school, a lot of times they have behavioral problems and their parents already can't control them. So you sending them home to be on suspension while their parents are at work is just giving that child a free vacation. But if you put their ass in ISS, they still got to show up to school on time, do their work. That's torture. That shit will stick with you. That shit will stick with you. Not if you get a free vacation. Not if you get a free vacation. That won't stick with you. You weren't uncomfortable. Nobody made you uncomfortable. You got to be uncomfortable to change people's behavior. That's how they did behavioral modification when I was growing up. If you didn't want to, listen, you never wanted to be late for school. Because late for school meant you were not allowed to go to your class tardy. Oh, no, that would be too easy. So they sent you to another classroom. And in that classroom, they would have these big old long sheets. And they were called copies. They were written like the Constitution. If your ass was late for school, your ass had to sit in that room and write copies by hand until it was time for the next period. Then you can go to your next class. But your punk ass better not be late again. Every time you late, they're going to send you to that classroom and you're going to write copies. Eventually, your ass going to end up in ISS. Doing homework, doing schoolwork all day in that classroom. And writing copies. And doing in-school chores that they make you do. And might make you even have to stay after school for detention. Bet you your ass won't be late no more. That's why I said I grew up in the hood. Even thugs was on the fucking honor roll. Why? Because my school figured out how to do behavioral modification. Even the bad kids don't like to write copies. Yep, exactly. Or copying a page out the dictionary. Or hell, the worst of the worst. Copying the encyclopedia page by page by hand. Don't play with me. Us old school folks know that shit. That's how you get to kids. Now, they scared to do anything because the parents might sue, this, that, and that. When I was growing up, teachers could spank children. It was different then. A teacher would spank you, and then your parent, your mama or your daddy would come up to the school and then spank you in front of the whole class. Then you got the whole fucking school year. Everybody want to remind you. Remember that time your mama came up here and spanked you in front of the class? You be like, chill. Ruler, no, we had a paddle. Back in our day, they had a government-issued paddle, okay? Those born in the 70s, remember. There was a government-issued paddle that was used on your bottom, okay? So that you got an even distribution, and it was wood. You got an even distribution of that work, okay? Listen, honey, yours had holes. I remember the paddle when it didn't. They gave it holes because they realized when it didn't have holes, it delivered too much of the thunder. Okay? I remember the paddles that didn't have holes. But I remember they used to hang it on a little thing. It would hang. Like they wanted you to see it. It wasn't like the teacher hid it from you. They wanted you to know that they had the capability and will to do it. See, back in my day, a threat was, I'm going to call your mama. Oh, no. Let me tell you something. Back in the day, what you never wanted was for your parent to have to be called up to the school. No, ma'am. For your parent to get called up to the school was a problem. If your mama had to leave work or your daddy had to leave work to come up to your school to address your behavior, oh, you about to catch that work in front of everybody at your school. Because again, that was the deterrent. That's why nobody wanted their parents called. Soon as somebody say, you want me to call your mama? Oh, little Johnny gonna straighten up. Because if your mama or your daddy had to leave their hard-paying fucking job to come up to your school because you don't know how to act like you have home training, oh, it's going to be some furniture moving at that school. Your teacher going to watch. Your teacher ain't going to call no authorities. No one's going to help you no matter how much you yell. Trust me, I tried. Okay? Well, you say it was abuse. Listen, I'll say this, Anthony. There were some teachers who went in. By and large, most teachers really didn't spank you too hard. It was the trauma of knowing you got the spanking in front of the class. It was more embarrassment than anything. It was more embarrassment. But I would rather take a spanking from my fucking teacher than my mama. I would rather take a spanking from my teacher every day of the week than my damn mama. So for me, oh no. See, I didn't cut up in school. I was an ideal kid in school. I didn't cut up in school. Because cutting up in school meant my mama was going to show up. And my mama was crazy. In a good way. She kept us in order. But my mama was crazy. She would say real quick, listen. See, parents are different now. But my mother would be very quick to say, I'm not your friend. You can make friends. The world is a huge place. You got plenty of time to make friends. I don't want to be your friend. I have friends. I don't need your friendship. Catch it. I'm your mama. Okay? I'm your mama. I'm not your friend. So you're going to watch how you talk to me. You're going to watch how you engage with me. You're not going to let people... Say it again, Sanopa. When it's between your mama and police, I'll take police for 500, Alex. I told y'all about that time my mama caught... Okay, we're going to do some story time. Before I do that, before I continue, I want to say thank you for listening this morning. Thank you for being here. Tap that like button for me. Tap that copy link button for me. You don't even have to send it to nobody. And click the link in my bio and go on over and follow me on Patreon. You won't be disappointed because we have unfiltered conversations over there. I can't say everything over here. But I'm going to tell you a story. See, y'all like to say this, that, and the other. This one time I called the police on my mama because she told me she was going to spank me. And I was like, oh, no, I don't want no spanking. I don't want no spanking. Okay, so this was before call waiting. This is how old I fucking am. My mama said, don't you get your ass on the phone when you come home from school. Do your chores and do your homework. But I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to talk on the phone to my friends. Okay. So I was on the fucking phone, running my mouth, blah, 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 just talking, wah, 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 just tearing it down, just talking. Then that damn operator bust through that fucking line. Said my mama was trying to get through. Because see, back then people could call the operator and tell them your number so they'll bust through that busy signal. Operator said, your mama tried to get through on the line, you need to get off the phone. I was like, shit. I knew I was in trouble. So as soon as I hung up the phone, my mama called. She said, didn't I tell you not to get your ass on that phone? I told you do your chores and do your work. When I get home, I'm going to tear that ass up. I was like, oh shit. I ain't want no spanking. So I said, I'm going to call the police on her ass. Because then that way, I ain't going to get no spanking. I was even willing to take her away in cuffs for the night. Listen. Because I didn't want that spanking. You understand? All right? So I called the police. Those bastards did not get there before my mama did. My mama came home. I got my spanking. I ate my dinner. I had to take my shower and I went to bed. You know, because you got to go to bed early on the days you get a spanking, right? Well, what happens hours later? Fucking cops show up. What you there for now? Already done got now. What Puff say it's all fucked up now. What am I do now, huh? What am I do now? So they come in and they're like, they said to my mom, hey, we got a call about a child, you know, being abused, this, that, and the other. And my mother like, abused? She wasn't abused. She was on the phone. I told her not to be on the phone. I cut through that line and I told her I was going to tear her ass up when I got home. And I did just that. She called my name. Come on out here and let these people see you. And I came out there half asleep. You know, I'm standing there looking dumb, you know, thinking to myself, you punk ass cops. I called y'all hours ago. You know what I mean? Like, where were y'all? Right? So I'm standing there, you know, and they're like, and my mother's like, look at her. There she goes. She fine. She breathing. Ain't nothing fucking wrong with her. But I bet you she won't get on my damn phone no more when I tell her not to. You know, I'm standing there looking like a dummy. So my mother sends me back to bed. Now, I was smart enough to know I better not tell my mama I was the one that called because I would have got my ass mollywopped again. So I said nothing. So she thought it was the downstairs neighbor. My God. Mama went downstairs to that neighbor's door. You bitch, you called the police on me when I'm trying to parent my fucking kids. Mind your business. I laid right there in that bed. I wasn't catching that work again. Ain't my business. I didn't tell my mama that I was the one that had called them people till I was like in my mid to late 20s. Then I told her. I was like, girl, did you know, remember that time you spanked me because I was on the phone, girl, and you went down there and you was banging on that woman's door, cussing her out because you thought she called the police on your children. It was me. I called on you because you crazy. And I ain't want no spanking. I didn't want to get in trouble. And I was hoping they would get there before you got home. But they didn't. But I knew enough not to tell her ass that night when it happened. Oh, no. But I did call. So I learned a lesson. Calling the police, at least back then, they were slow. Now they're probably coming lightning speed, you know. But back then, them buff did not show up. I caught all my mama's work. Do you understand? I caught all of it. I wasn't supposed to be on the phone anyway, but I caught all of it. You understand? But see, my mother, I'll never forget my mother telling me, I think I was in 7th grade, and I don't even remember what I did, but I tried to be slick on something. And I never forget my mother looking at me and saying to me, listen, let me explain something to you. Every time you try, yeah, we must be childhood twins. Look, were our mama's sisters? I remember my mother said to me one time, and I'll never forget it. She said, listen, you always keep trying to be slick. Let me explain something to you. I am smarter than you on my worst day. Bitch. That shit stuck with me. Because from that point forward, I ain't never tried to get over on her. You understand? I'm smarter than you on my worst fucking day. And it was like this woman was always a step of fucking ahead of us. She was always a step ahead of us, and I couldn't lie to her. It was like she could look at me in my face and say nothing, and I would just break like a cheap-ass chair, car chair out of fucking Walmart. Every time. It was the worst thing ever. My brother, I used to look up to him. He was my younger brother because he was so good at lying. In terms of, he could lie so matter of fact. Yeah, I'm president. I sleep at the White House every night. Straight face. You couldn't break this fucker for nothing. For nothing. She could never break this dude, man. There were times, there was one time I remember my mother, she tried to spank him to see if he was going to tell the truth. And she got tired. She got tired. Do you understand? I never forgot that. She was like, you know what? It's not, I'll never forget it. I probably was like in 9th grade at that time. And my mother was like, she said, this motherfucker built different. I never forgot that. My mother was like, my brother's built different. She called my dad like, what the fuck? Something wrong with that dude. How is he not impacted by nothing? My brother was very stoic. He was very good at being stoic. And he knew that that was a way to get to my mama. Me, I just couldn't do it. That she could fucking break me down. All she had to do was go, you went over there today? And just look at you. It was this certain look. Because I do it to my own kids now. I'm real good at that shit. I just look at them and I don't say nothing. I'm like, or I'll say like, so that's what you did. And I just look. And I don't say nothing else. And then my youngest always goes, don't look at me like that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't, please stop looking at me. And I'll be like, and I just look. And then, okay, I did. I'm like, I knew you did. I didn't know anything. But just look. It wasn't until years later, way when we were adults, when my mother said, I just want to tell you something. When I used to look at you and you would snitch on yourself, I didn't know nothing. It was just an interrogation tactic. That's why I said my mama should have been in the FBI or the CIA or something. Because she was breaking my ass on a regular. Do you understand? She was breaking my ass on a regular. I was like, who is this woman? Like, how does she always know? But found out later she didn't. I just was always snitching on myself. Always snitching on. This is why I didn't do certain things. Like if people tried to get me to do stuff, I'm like, I'm not doing. I would tell them outright. You could not peer pressure me into doing shit. Do you understand? Because I would say, oh, I'm not doing that. I didn't care. I would tell you why. Why? My mama crazy. I'm not doing that shit. And it got to a point that people knew my mama. And they would say, no, don't ask her that to do. She not doing that. Her mama don't fuck around. Because see, my mama will whoop your ass too. See, if I would tell you such and such talk me into doing it, oh, my mama will whoop your ass too. Then tell your mama she whooped your ass. And then dare your mama to have a problem with it. That was my mama. Oh yeah, I whooped your child's ass because your child talked my baby into doing that stupid shit. Oh, I whooped my child ass too. Because my kid knew better. Now, if you got a problem with what I did with your child, I'm not tired yet. I can issue one more ass whooping if you want one too. Listen. Okay? My mama ain't play that shit. Your kids wasn't going to come into her space. Oh, fuck yeah, I snitched. You think I was going to catch that work by myself? Oh, no. That's why people knew over time they hung with me. If you gonna hang with me, we doing all above board shit. We doing all above board shit. Because anything below board, you gonna catch the same work that I'm fucking catching. Why? Because I'm snitching. Ain't no friendship good enough for me to hang with you to take a spanking from my mama for you. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. If I'm not going to take a spanking for my brother, why the fuck would I take one for you? Man, miss me with that. That don't mean we friends. My mother always told me if you're going to be stupid, you got to be tough. See, you listen. Y'all different from me. I wasn't raised with that no snitch shit. That's not how I was raised. I was raised, if you saw somebody do something bad and you didn't say nothing, that shit made you an accomplice. So whatever work they got, your ass was getting it too. That's how I was raised. So if I was raised and I saw my cousins doing something they wasn't supposed to be doing, and I didn't say nothing, we all was getting it. Because I knew better and I didn't say nothing. They knew better and they did it. We all was going to catch the word. Say it again. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's why I say it all goes back to how people are raised. It all goes back to that. And my mother was a teen mom. My mom had me at 16. So there ain't no excuses for raising your fucking kids. None. My mother didn't play that shit at all. I remember one time I was punished for a whole month. 30 fucking days. I'll never forget that. 30 fucking days. And it might have been the day that she caught me on the phone. And that operator broke in and I got the spanking. I was punished for 30 straight days. Where all I could do, I could go to school, I could go to band practice and come home. I couldn't go outside to play with my friends extra. I couldn't stay up past 8 o'clock. And my mother was a person, when she issued a punishment, she executed on the punishment. She never wavered. Because she wanted you to know, I don't play that. If I tell you not to do something, you don't do it. There's no wiggle room for this shit. This is why even as an adult, I didn't even curse around my mother. I had the ultimate respect for her. I didn't even curse around her. One, because she wouldn't allow you to. I would try to tell that little lie. I would try to be smooth. Mom, no. Oh, Mom, all I said was damn. Damn is a body of water. And she would be like, not around me. That shit didn't work. I couldn't even curse around my mama. I didn't do that stuff. I don't know people. Like, if I did slip up and say a curse word, she'll let me say the first one. Keep in mind, I'm married. Got my own fucking kids. After the second one, she'd be like, hey. Who you think you hanging with? I ain't one of your little... Look, black kids know. I ain't one of your little friends. Oh, yeah, you couldn't roll no eyes, storyteller. You couldn't roll no eyes, and you couldn't roll no neck. Because if you roll your eyes, they might get slapped out your head. Catch it. Yeah, you couldn't say lie. Oh, child. I felt so immature. Mama, he telling a story. You couldn't even say lie. To say the word lie was seen as disrespectful. We couldn't do nothing. We couldn't do shit. However, we were raised with respect, though. You had, like, say, for example, you were in your neighborhood. You say you be in your neighborhood. And you get to, and your mama not home, but you cutting up in that neighborhood. And other people see you cutting up and they tell your mama, oh, you gonna get your ass mollywopped. Mama, don't play that shit. Because you embarrassing her in public. You making it look like she ain't raised you well. She not having that. So it got to be a consequence for that shit. So you understand you can't behave that way. Yep, sucker was a curse word. You couldn't say that. And you couldn't sit in a space where older people were holding conversation, because that's grown folk business. And you better not wait for them to tell you to exit the room. Soon as they start talking, you already know your ass better exit stage left. Because if they have to make you exit, you're going to have a problem. Bigly. Yep, there were no slamming doors. There were no, you could close the door to the bathroom because you got to take your bath or whatever. But just closing doors to be closing doors? Oh, fuck no. That's disrespectful. Your mama say you close doors when you get your own fucking house. That's what I say. A lot of the reasons why society is where it is today is a lot of people don't parent their kids because they're afraid of their own children. I can tell you hands down, my mama was not afraid of none of her fucking kids. My mama made very clear, at any moment that I feel like I'm scared of you, you can't stay here. She would say it outright. At any moment that I've realized that I am afraid of you, you can't be here. My brother was 6'3" and still scared of my mama, as he should have been. As he should have been. Me too. Because we were taught to treat her and all elders with respect. Still to today, when I'm talking to somebody that's older than me, even if they're not, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. That's how I was raised. I was not raised to call my elders by their first name. That was seen as a sign of disrespect. You couldn't do that shit. You couldn't do that shit growing up how I grew up. You can go in there and say Miss Mildred if you want to. You're going to get popped upside the head. That's Miss Jackson to you. Okay, I just heard you call her Miss Mildred. Calm down. Yep, you had to say sir or ma'am. It was about showing respect. That's all. It's just about respect. That's what's been lost on a lot of people, a lot of youth, because their parents aren't teaching it. And their parents aren't teaching it because their parents are either afraid of them or their own parents were never taught to be respectful. And I was taught to always act like my mama was around even when my mama wasn't around, because I was a reflection of my mama and my daddy. Period. So you had to act accordingly. Because if anybody told that you was doing something that your mama would not be proud of, you was going to catch the fucking work. It all starts at home. And my mama even went through a bout in the 90s, because in DC in the 90s, y'all know, DC was hardcore with the UGG activity, okay? And my mama got caught up in that. She was still parenting her fucking kids. That's why I say, you got to make a choice about what you want to do in taking care of your kids. And when my mother got to a point where she said, I need help, I got to go into a program and get what I need, my grandmother was there. Grandma was always there, but my grandmother was there. My father was there. My mother got the help she needed. And then when she came back home, we continued business as usual. But it all goes back to the effort that people are willing to put into parenting their children. That's what it all comes down to. And a lot of times people don't want to put the effort in. Why? Because it exposes who their character is. See, you got a lot of people who are having babies who aren't raised well either. It's just roaches having babies. And see, my mother, that was the thing that my mother always taught me too. She said, listen, even roaches have babies. Roaches have babies too. Now, what separates you from roaches? Parent your fucking kids. Parent your fucking kids. Because that shit always stuck with me. It was like, yeah, roaches do have babies. They do. But hell, roaches teach their babies stuff. Shit. You mean to tell me you can't do nothing better for your babies than roaches do for theirs? My mama ain't play that. She ain't play that shit. She said that, and she said never use your uterus for rent. Your uterus is not for rent. You should not be making babies with men to get money, because there are easier ways to get money from men if that's what the fuck that you're chasing. If you're having babies by men to make money, she said you're not very good at math. Oh, I miss my mama, because she was right. And I see the women and the girls doing it even today, and I'm going, that's not how you get money from men. Why the fuck would I want a man to give me money to take care of another person with it? That don't sound like good math. You know what I'm saying? That was never good math. So I always learned that. You know what I'm saying? That's not a smart thing to do. So when I had an appointment, my yearly appointment last week with my gyno, and there was a young girl in there pregnant, no lie. Because I made my doctor laugh when I went to the back. I said, yeah, I saw a young girl sitting in your waiting room, and I said, ooh, foolish Padawan, she's having a baby. She young, she don't know no better. She don't know no better. Because if she knew better, because she looked probably 21, 22, if she knew better, 21, 22 is not the age to be having no fucking babies. Girl, you need to be at the club. You should be at the club, in school. You understand? You should be totally entrenched in you before you start talking about procreating and having babies. And that's real shit. When I had my first baby at 23, I felt too young then. I was like, yo, I am too young to be having a baby, but I did. But I ain't have another one till 5 years later. And then after that, I didn't have no more babies. I said, that's it for me. That's it for me. Y'all can have at it. Ooh, 23 and 2 babies. That's a lot, Ashira. I know, girl, you were tired. And you were still a baby. That's the thing. You were still a baby with 2 babies. Wow, you're first at 19. Yeah, you were still a baby at 19. And I can only imagine. Okay, Cassie, you said you're first at 18 and you're second at 21. But you got to remember, y'all, don't be hard on yourselves. You didn't know any better. Sometimes you just don't know. Sometimes, see, what you find too is a lot of people, especially young girls, for a lot of young girls, they suffer from self-esteem issues. And so in many ways, you think that this baby will become something to love. But no, that's not what the baby is. The baby is somebody to take care of. The baby ain't there to love you. Because there are many times that you're not even sure that your baby does, because babies are going to be babies. They're not always going to be happy. They're not always going to like everything you do. But when you're young and you're a child, you don't get that. You don't get that. So when I see these young girls, I be like, yo, listen, don't be so quick to procreate. Protect your uterus. My oldest daughter is 27, going on 28. She ain't looking at no kids right now because she knows she's too young for that. She like to run the streets. She like to do whatever she want to do when she want to do it. She want to do whatever she want to do with her own money. And I told her, well, in order to do that, you can't have no children right now. Because if you have kids, your ass going to be on lockdown because I'm not taking care of no fucking kid while you run the streets because you'll bring home another one. Yep, you'll bring home another one. Oh, your mom took care of your son so you can finish school. That's smart. That's the way to help. You said the light pump came on when you had your first daughter at 20. That's good, but at least it came on. For some people, it never comes on. I saw a lady in the store the other day. She had 4, my grandmother called babies crumb snatchers. That's another thing that gets you to think about how you see kids, right? Then my grandmother called them crumb snatchers, right? This lady had 4 crumb snatchers. I think they all were the oldest was probably 7, 6. I was like, ain't no fucking way you could get me to have that many fucking babies. It's no fucking way. It's no fucking way. No. That man, make that man leave you alone. Like the fuck? I was like, yo, she had like 1 strapped on her and she's got like 1 on her hip. And then she got 2 more around her. And I'm like, the fuck is happening here? Girl. Listen, let me explain something to you. Being intimate ain't that fun. It ain't fun enough to get 4 fucking crumb snatchers. And my family called them stair steppers. If your babies were less than a year apart or a year apart, they were stair steppers. So when do you ever get time? Because all you got stair steppers and a whole bunch of crumb snatchers. When do you get time to do anything? You're never going to get time to do nothing. Nah, fuck, I learned early on, that is not the way to be, having babies to make money. Nope, I wasn't raised like that. I was raised the opposite. So if some guy start talking about procreate, I'm like, oh, who talking about that? Wasn't nobody talking about that. Calm down. Like Miles and I, we have 2 babies. That's it. When he would start talking about that other stuff, I was like, listen, pimp. Listen. Now, you want me to have more babies? I'm not having more babies and work no fucking job. So what you want, champ? You want more babies? Or do you want more babies, which means you got to work more jobs? You're not Jamaican, but you're going to become Jamaican. Or can we chill and just move forward? Because this whole thing is, I don't have a boy. Blame yourself, sir. I didn't do that. You did that. Blame yourself. If you got 2 girls, that's called karma. Okay? That's called karma. You got 2 girls. Take the L and move forward. You can only get a boy or a girl. Ain't like you can get anything else. 15. Goodness gracious. Ooh, that's a lot of babies. That's a lot of babies. Oh, your babies now are 35, 33, and 28. Oh, awesome. And I'm sure they're great children. And you all learned a lot of lessons. See, that's the thing. And your kids learned lessons from you. And I bet you none of your kids, Cassie, have any children yet, right? Yep, I told them to take the L, Lynette. Take that L. Take the L. Take the L. And that's real talk. Don't let men make it seem like they own your uterus. You don't own my uterus. A guy you know has 7 kids with different moms and new. Oh, that's community eggplant. Don't nobody like community eggplant. And see, women, y'all got to start dealing with these men in the same way that they deal with women. I'm telling you, if you want to change the environment, when you're dating a guy and he got multiple kids, first question, they by the same woman? No. Then we can't date. Know why? Because he lacks discipline. He lacks discipline. He got lucky and ended up with 2 babies. What if he didn't get just babies? What if he got something he can't get rid of? That already tells you that that guy is impulsive and he doesn't make good decisions. Why are you trying to get yourself caught up in that shit? I'm telling you, want to blow a guy's mind? Tell him that shit. Tell him that shit. I guarantee he'll never forget that you were the one woman that said nah because he lacks discipline. And one or 2 things will happen. He'll either get discipline and always remember the woman that rejected him that he wanted. And that's why he changed. Or he gonna lean into being even more raggedy and purposefully look to break down women. One of the 2 is gonna happen. But at least you'll know. You be like, nah, you lack discipline, beloved. Why you say that? Because every woman you meet, you have a baby with. You don't have enough discipline to understand that every woman that you lay down with don't deserve to be a mother. That's how you flip it. I'm telling you, you flip it like that, that shit has them like, wait a fucking minute. Because again, a lot of times men are used to women being in competition for their attention. But when you ain't in competition for no attention, and you're like, listen, and you know your value. You say, listen, I'm high value. So how I look like messing with Community D? So you probably could have been something 20 or 30 women ago, but now you for the streets. That's how you do that. I'm telling you, they'll remember you. They'll get mad. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they get mad. They didn't get any kitty. See? Y'all got to use your minds on this. That's the shit. That man will remember your ass forever. Even if it makes him make a stank face. He got the stank face because he couldn't run game enough to get you to acquiesce and do what he wanted. That's all. So it's okay if he's mad. Nobody cares. I follow the shit I don't care about. Nobody cares if you mad, be mad. Be mad. You understand? I'm just I'm Morgan, I see that. I mean, Moon Sugar, I see that. I see what you said. Because, listen, he knows I'm telling no lies. See, the woman that doesn't give a fuck, that's the woman that men are even more intrigued by. The woman who's like, oh, you want my attention? I'm not interested. Anyway, you got any fried chicken here? That's the woman they chase. Because men have egos. Men have egos. So the man is thinking, fuck you mean you don't want me? You want fried fucking chicken. The fuck? That's what they're thinking. They don't say it out loud, but that's the thought, right? That's the first time you do it. Then when it happens again, it's like, well, wait a fucking minute. What the fuck does this woman have going on that she don't care about engaging in anything with me? Does she know who the fuck I am? So now they're all in their own head. Well, maybe I'm not who I think I am. Nah. Then they're like, nah, that can't be true. It's her. I gotta find a way to get in to her. I'm telling you, it will consume them. Hey, sassy, y'all got to stop giving your power up. When you realize the power of the feminine and who you are, and don't be pretty and smart. They don't know how to receive that. Be pretty, smart, and not interested, beloved, you are now high value. And that has been the conclusion of my TED Talk. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Because I always laugh when the men say, oh, you can't turn a 304 into a housewife. Well, okay, I guess. But I do know that I've seen multiple women turn 304s into husbands. Okay? So if you can turn a 304 into a husband, you can certainly turn a 304 into a wife. Look, that was the wrong one. Because I see that all the time. The guys, man, you can't turn a 304 into a wife. I can't, a garden tool, Shauna. That's what it is, a garden tool. They'll say, oh, you can't turn a garden tool into a wife. Yes, you can. You turn garden tools into husbands every fucking day. Men just want you to think, right? Men just want you to think because you have a history, you ain't no good. Well, sir, you have a history and you're still no good at what you're trying to do with me. The nerve. Hey there, Adrian. Yeah, I see that he's federalizing the DC police and deploying the National Guard. Again, don't forget Donald Trump is doing all that so you don't talk about this. These Epstein files. Don't let that shit take you off of the fact that you want the files. We want the Epstein files. Okay? It's just another distraction. It's just another distraction. Designed to get you to not talk about the Epstein files, the Epstein case, and how the Trump administration is trying to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell. Don't fall for that shit. That's all. That's all he's doing. Somebody in that room as a reporter, if he takes questions, needs to say, okay, now that you've announced this, when are you going to release the Epstein files? Guarantee, soon as you say that, he walk out. Soon as you say that, he's going to walk out because he doesn't want to address this shit. Trump is trying to throw everything he can up at the wall to make sure that you don't remember that he and Jeffrey Epstein were friends for decades. We want the files. That's it. Everything else he talking about is a waste of fucking time. So I'll check that out because I'm about to start wrapping up. I got some stuff I got to do this one, and I have some recording I got to do today. I want to say thank you all so much for joining me this morning. Don't forget, click the link in my bio. Come on over to Patreon and check me out. We have some great unfiltered conversations over there. You got the podcast over there. Plus, if you're a member of the Patreon, the tiers that I have, you also have, I think I have like 13 or 14 additional what I call them backroom episodes that go even deeper and are even more unfiltered. Hey, real one. Missed you too. I haven't seen you in a couple of days. I had some things going on. I've been around, but my schedule was a little different. Now, don't forget, yesterday's live is already on YouTube. I put it there. I'll make sure to put the live from this morning on YouTube like I always do. So, like I said, go over and check out the link in the bio. Thank you so much for the 92,000 likes. I appreciate it so much this morning. We had 177 freaking shares. Thank you so much for those shares this morning. I appreciate that so much. I tell you every day, I appreciate your time and being here with me because your time is the most important commodity that you have. Don't forget that. Don't waste it with everybody, right? Because everybody don't deserve your time. Another thing that you need to remember, don't let Trump steal your joy with his bullshit. Don't let him do it. That's what they want to do. They want you to feel hopeless. They want you to feel oppressed. Don't do that shit. Joy is something they can't steal. I need to put up the movie post. We need to pick our next movie. I don't know, Sanopa, but we got to pick what the next movie is too. So I'll make sure to get that up in the Patreon today too, because I forgot to put it up yesterday, even though I wrote it, but I didn't put it up. So I'll get that put up today because we need to decide what our next movie is, y'all. And so we can watch it and discuss it this month, because we discussed Sinners last month. That was a great discussion, great movie. If you want to see that discussion, click the link in my bio. We had a great time talking about Sinners. Oh, I haven't seen the new Final Destination, so I'm down for watching that, because we could also discuss all the other Final Destinations and how all of Final Destination is a great series. It's very masterful at how it's done. I love the ode to Tony Todd, you know, so maybe that's, oh yeah, the Green Book's another good one. So I'll put it in the Patreon, and then we can make some decisions. You watch The Platform. It wasn't that movie gross, but Mandy, The Platform is basically, to me, that is a way for you to understand America. America is the platform. The higher up you are, the better it is for you. The lower you are, the harder it is. That's why I told people in that video I put up yesterday, the reason why Trump is doing what he's doing and he winning is because of not the people at the top, it's the people at the bottom that just give up. Oh, we got 100K. Thank you all so much. I appreciate that. That was so fast. So thank you so much for that. But I got to go ahead and wrap up to handle something. Plus, I see the kid just called me. So that means she's going to pop in the live in a second. Like, you know. But thank you all so much. I love you guys so much. I want to send a shout out. First of all, thank you to all of you for the gifts. But I certainly want to send a shout out to my top 5 gifters. I can't say everybody because it would be longer than the live. But I appreciate all of you, okay? Just know all of you. Number 1, beautiful storyteller. Thank you so much, beautiful. Number 2, handsome Russ Nelson. Thank you. Number 3, beautiful Trail. Thank you, beautiful. Number 4, beautiful Shauna. Thank you. Number 5, beautiful Stacy D. Thank you, beautiful. And a special shout out to number 6, beautiful Sanopa. And Sanopa, I see you doing your lives consistently. Keep it going, girl. You got it. You got it, beautiful. It's going to happen for you. Keep doing it. And to those of you who want to do content, make your content. You know I keep telling you that. Make your content. I tell you, and you can see from my example, I just show up every day. I'm not doing anything exceptional except showing up every day. You show up every day too. And it's going to happen for you. Do it, okay? I love you guys. I'll see you this afternoon live at 5, okay? And I'm going to end this like I end everything. Don't let nobody live rent-free in your head, y'all. Don't feed the trolls. And you can accomplish anything you put your mind to as long as you stay consistent. Peace, everybody, and have a great day. I'll see you at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time.